8 Forgotten Premier League stars who went on to win titles in obscure leagues. Every football fan will have their own favorite cult heroes from the Premier League era. It could be the budget signing from out of nowhere who went on to exceed all expectations. It might be the player who overcame injury and off-the-field obstacles to deliver when it mattered most. On the flip side, it might be someone who failed badly but managed to deliver that one moment of magic, which makes the rest of it almost worth it. Each fanbase will have their own contenders for the cult hero label, but with the Premier League now in its fourth decade, many of these have become somewhat forgotten. There are plenty of famous examples of players struggling in the Premier League, only to go and enjoy a new lease of life elsewhere. Here's a look at some of the forgotten top-flight stars who would go on to lift titles in leagues you may not have expected. Aston Villa splashed £5.8 million on the Croatian international in August 2001 and agreed a 5-year deal with the former Dinamo Zagreb striker. 2 years later, Balaban's contract was terminated and he left Villa Park without ever making a single league start. The striker was afforded the chance to kickstart his career in Belgium with Club Brugge and would help the club to the first division title in his first season at the club. Balaban registered double-digit goals in the following 2 seasons before concluding his career with spells at Dinamo Zagreb, Panionios and Selangor FA. Forlan is often somewhat unfairly labelled a flop for his stint with Manchester United, but the Uruguay international left Old Trafford with a record of 10 goals and 7 assists in 63 appearances. The striker would go on to rebuild his reputation at first with Villarreal before joining Atletico Madrid in 2007. Forlan would go on to rejoin his boyhood club Penarol for a single season and help the club to win the Primera Division in 2016. However, the former striker's first steps into management at the same club did not go well, with the Uruguay legend spending just 8 months in charge before being sacked in September 2020. What is your favorite Premier League cult hero? Let us know in the comments section below. Leb was never a prolific goalscorer with Arsenal, but his form during his 3 years in North London convinced Barcelona to move for the playmaker in 2008. The Belarus international would make a surprising Premier League on loan with Birmingham City, and Alex McLeish's side would suffer relegation despite their Carling Cup triumph. Leb initially joined Krylia Sovetov after leaving the Camp Nou, but returned to his home country with Bate Borisov in 2012. The following year, the former Arsenal and Barcelona attacker helped the club retain their Belarusian Premier League crown. The Republic of Ireland's all-time leading goalscorer enjoyed a prolific career in the Premier League with a host of clubs, beginning with Coventry City splashing a then-record £6 million fee on the teenager. Spells with Inter Milan and Leeds United followed, but Keane spent his best years with Tottenham. Towards the latter stages of his career after a failed stint with Liverpool, Keane made the move stateside and joined David Beckham at La Galaxy. The striker helped his new side finish the season as Western Conference champions, as well as edging out Houston Dynamo to lift the 2011 MLS Cup. The former Newcastle United Maverick is best remembered for his bizarre celebration at St. James Park, where he took his shirt off and angrily booted the advertising boards, having scoring the winner against Bolton. Ketsbaya spent 3 years with the Toon Army before spending a season each with Wolves and Dundee. The Georgian international then left for a 5-year spell with Cypriot outfit Anarthosis Famagusta, which later saw him take on the role of player-manager. It was in this role where Ketsbaya led the club to 2 league titles before hanging up his boots in 2007. The Brazil international arrived at Chelsea in the summer of 2012 and was named man of the match on his first start for the club after scoring twice in a home draw with Juventus. Oscar helped the Blues to 2 Premier League titles before making the shock decision to sign for Chinese Super League side Shanghai SIPG 5 years later. The attacking midfielder went on to lift the league title with his new club in his debut season. Despite the exodus of high-profile stars from Chinese football in recent seasons, the 30-year-old remains with the club and insists he has no regrets over his decision to leave the Premier League. The second Villa striker on this list, but Angel enjoyed a far more productive spell in the Midlands than Balaban. The Colombian striker spent 6 seasons at Villa Park before departing for the MLS with New York Red Bulls. Angel's career eventually became full circle, and the striker reportedly took a huge pay cut to re-sign for his first club Atlético Nacional. Angel would go on to be the club's top scorer as the side lifted the league title and the 2013 Copa America in a dream conclusion to his playing days. The former Arsenal and Barcelona midfielder has just helped current side AS Arda SOLAR 7 retain their Djibouti Premier League title. Song was released by Swiss outfit Sion in March 2020 but earned his second winner's medal with a 12-1 victory over Arhiba this weekend. The former Cameroon international spent 6 seasons at the Emirates and returned to the Premier League with 2 loan spells at West Ham. Song helped his current club lift their maiden title last term and thanked his teammates for a great job in a celebratory social media post.